Hi, I'm here with Audrie,
Hi.
and she hasn't really had a chance to do much talking. She's been working a lot in weird hours just the last few weeks. So, wanted to get an opportunity to let you guys hear her. You can tell she's kind of angry. So, the question that we get more than anything else is the probably sorest spot for her, and people always asking how old she is, assuming that she's like underage.
I'm 22. I'm always gonna look young. I will forever be carded at the movie theater for wanting to see an R-rated movie.
That actually
That's
happened.
it's just my life. But I'm legal age to do pretty much whatever.
She was 19 when we met, and can you tell people how we met?
I met Dwight and Betsy in college. I actually met Betsy first in the cafeteria, and it was my first week of school, about the end of my first week, and I didn't really have friends yet, but I was sitting by myself eating my lunch, doing some studying, and she came up to me and asked if she could sit down. So I said yes, of course, and she sat down, we started talking, and we kind of became like instant friends. We really just clicked.
It happens. And okay, so that Reddit post, the trip, right?
It was completely absurd.
What do you have to say about it?
Well, whoever wrote it doesn't know what he's talking about. Or she. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, they said a lot of things that were completely untrue.
Hold on. People calling us. Mad because I started recording while she's eating. We got interrupted by a phone call. Sorry, we're recording on my work phone. What were we saying?
You were asking me about the Reddit post. I don't remember everything that was said because it was just bogus.
All right. Well,
but
what would you say? Okay, forget. We know that the entire Reddit post is bogus. So, not even giving it the time of day. Is there anything particular you would like to say for yourself? Like, and everybody's going to hear this. So.
Well,
I'm sorry I'm interrupting your donut.
It's cool.
She's getting ready to go to work, and Mike bought her donuts, and she heated it up in the microwave and was eating a donut and milk.
So, I'm 22, but I have a brain, and a lot of people are saying that this relationship is a fling, it's a phase, and it's not going to last, and you're just going to hurt people. But we are all adults who have made a decision to be a family and to live our lives together. I mean, I'm having a baby, and no, he doesn't get the women pregnant at the first year to keep us dependent on him. I did remember that part.
Yeah, that was funny.
I've been here for almost 3 years, and this is my first pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that just kind of negates that. But
and she was on the patch for like the longest time.
And I did use birth control. Yeah. So and I believe Betsy used a different form. What was it?
I mean, she had that IUD they were getting ready to put in, and okay, so we don't believe that our sex lives are something that should be dragged into the public.
Completely ridiculous.
We're kind of anti-PDA. Like, we just don't do that. Like, we don't even really hug and kiss in public, and so it's kind of uncomfortable for us to dive into. But we've tried
really
multiple different kinds of birth
business.
control, and admittedly, there, like when we were using condoms, there was 1 or 2 nights that we didn't, and that 1 or 2 nights was enough. It was, kind of like when she conceived Jenna, it was the one night that we didn't use birth control was the night of the dance at the college, and
It just doesn't matter because we're adults and we can do what we want. And if we want to have children, then I don't see why that's an issue. And before this court case, we were perfectly capable. I mean, we were making $60,000 a year,
you
having
have 4
children.
income providers. You don't have to work that hard with
It
4
wasn't an
people.
issue. It was not a problem at all.
Yeah.
And it's not abnormal to have large families, especially like in my grandparents. My father is, like one of 7. So, I mean, it's not unheard of. And if we want to have a dozen kids, then I don't see why that is a problem.
Well,
why is that
as long
hurting
as
anyone?
We can still continue to pay the bills, which wouldn't have been a problem if it wasn't for Betsy's parents.
We were doing just fine. And I rather like having a large family. And it wasn't something that I knew I wanted until I got here, but it's definitely something that I rather enjoy. So,
What do you say to these people that say that Betsy's not a lesbian?
well, I would just say they don't know her, and that's fine. I don't really care what people think. They can think she's not a lesbian. She calls herself a lesbian +1 because Dwight is her only exception that she's ever had. And my thoughts are I don't really give a rat's ass.
Language.
People, sorry,
Language.
I don't care if
Okay.
they think she's a lesbian or not. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. They can think what they want.
This attitude you're seeing right now is typical Audrie for all the people who say that she's subservient.
Oh yes, that was so funny to hear in court how I am passive and subservient.
Just because you're short. She's my hobbit.
Really?
See?
Yeah, I'm not passive or subservient. And really 90% of the people who got up during our court case and our jury trial, I had never met almost all of them. The only people that got up there and testified against us that I knew was Tracy.
Your mom.
And my mom.
But your mom hadn't even been around in 2.5 years.
My mother has never even met the kids. Had never even met all of us. I don't think she's ever met Ashley or... I don't know. She just... At the time that I was trying to have a relationship with my mother, she would literally park way at the end of the street and make me walk to her car because she was so uncomfortable coming to our doorstep. So for her to testify and say that our kids were in danger was just completely absurd and ridiculous because she'd never even met the children.
Yeah, neither had any of the people.
I mean, really, people just got up there and talked out of their ass. And
There were people there that had known us from our old church that we left 3 years ago. It was like 3 years ago this month.
I had never even been to this church. I don't know any of these people.
one service on a Sunday night, just one. And we decided to go back one night, and everybody was just weird. I wanted to show
Okay,
you.
I think I vaguely remember that. I don't remember any of the people there.
She had never been to anything but Catholic services, and I was like, well, I'll show you our old church. And we went, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
I grew up very
pretty. It
strict
was-
Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever fit in with that.
It's...
There's nothing wrong with it inherently. It's just not for me.
So, I mean, you can see she speaks for herself. Audrie gets what Audrie wants.
Most of the time.
Most of it. And if she doesn't, then I hear it. She's a trip. But, it's... They can make all the claims they want. yes, Audrie and Betsy had feelings for one another before anything was going on with Audrie and I.
I fell in love with Betsy long before I fell in love with Dwight. I had a thing for Betsy in like August, September.
Yeah, you and Betsy kind of like had girl crushes on each other when you met. You totally did.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we really clicked.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't have any sort of feelings for Dwight until the very end of the year.
We were just friends.
Yeah, we were just really good friends. And even when Betsy and I had a crush on each other, I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere because she was married. And like I said, growing up in a completely conservative Roman Catholic, family and environment, that wasn't even something that was on my mind. Being in a poly relationship, that's something I had ever considered. And so when we first actually decided to try it out, it was kind of scary for me because it was completely against everything I'd ever been taught.
Me too.
It was just new, uncharted territory for all of us, and so.
But I mean, we'd been accused of it for months by that point. I'd thrown out of my band over it, like.
When nothing was going on, I thought it was funny because I didn't even have feelings for him at that point at all.
Yeah, there was nothing physical at all. It was just she was.
There wasn't even anything emotional, much less
we
physical.
were friends though.
That's totally.
We were good
different.
friends, and she was going through a really rough spot, and had confided in me about some of the issues she was having with her home life and her family with her mother, and so I was like, well, let's. She was complaining about like. All of her friends kind of just bailed on her after the summer, like her old high school friends and stuff. She graduated.
It's normal. I had lots of flaky friends, but I was kind of outgrowing that.
She would hang out with Betsy and I, and with Ashley and I, and we would pay her to babysit the kids. It took her. We just went out to do things together, and so we. It was kind of early in the fall, probably like beginning of September, late end of August, that we took her and Ashley both to our old church. It was a couple weeks after we'd met.
I don't remember Ashley being there.
I'm pretty sure maybe she wasn't.
I don't think she was.
Okay, well, you were there.
I remember going once.
And then I took her to a band practice one night, and she got really mad about something, which is typical for Audrie. What?
I wasn't getting mad about something. My current relationship at that time was falling apart, and I was really upset about it.
And I went outside during band practice, or at the end of band practice, and was talking to her, trying to console her. She was just really upset about the way their boyfriend was treating her. And then Betsy and I had a baby due.
When I met Betsy, she was like 8 months pregnant, really big pregnant.
And so. We hadn't actually been able to. Betsy and I hadn't been able to agree on a middle name for Jenna at all. Like, we knew we wanted the name Jenna, and then I had a list of names, and she had a list of names. I hated all of hers. She hated all of mine. And then I think it was actually Betsy that said, "Audrie's a really pretty name." I was like, "Yeah, but that'd be weird, man. She's just one of our friends." And she's like, "Who cares? It's a middle name." So we're like, "Okay, cool." And we went with Audrie and named her Jenna Audrie.
That meant a lot to me, actually. And
she was there when Jenna
I got to watch her be born, which was a really crazy experience. And I remember when I was really freaked out by the placenta. It was like she gave birth to her stomach or something. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, and I like graphic medical things. So
she could watch those pimple popping videos all day.
Shut up, Dwight.
So, I mean, the thing is that we're just normal people. Yes, our relationship looks weird. It looked weird to us. But it worked. Like, it just...
Over time, it felt very normal.
Yeah. We're recording!
Hey.
Oh, they just got back from the store.
They're recording.
Like... As with any relationship, you've got bumps in the road and things that iron out, and we argue just like normal couples, monogamous couples. Rose has seen us argue.
I'm sorry, do you want to leave?
No,
Hi.
I don't have anything to
I just got
hide.
back from buying him a new shirt for work.
Oh, that's good. So, you know, it only looks weird because you don't see us in action. All of our friends, all of our neighbors.
Anybody who spends any time with us and sees the structure of our home and like how we interact with one another and raise our kids,
there's a lot of
nobody's
them.
freaked out anymore because it
We're-
looks very normal.
We're friends with all manner of people too. We have a lot of very conservative Christian friends. We have a lot of very liberal atheist friends. We have friends that are
We're pretty
pagans.
well-rounded.
We have, you know, we're friends with people of other nationalities. A good friend of mine is from Mexico. I mean, it's just, we're not isolated in the slightest. We are more open, more inviting and accepting, more active in our communities than the average family. I mean, the boys are in Boy Scouts. Well, they were before they took them to Ohio.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who are not as open-minded see poly relationships and think cult because of a lot of the
There's some weirdos.
religious ideals that come with some types of poly relationships, I guess, but this is completely not religious based at all. So there's really no.
Religion left a really bad taste in my mouth. Just, I am a Christian. We still go to a church. You know,
Even our church is unconventional, though.
they've got a homeless shelter for LGBT youth. You know,
Our church literally had a parade in Austin
well, our
that
church
we
didn't.
walked
We
down.
just joined it.
Okay, well, our church joined
The Pride Parade in Austin.
a pride parade. Like, we walked down wearing rainbow.
And Betsy sat there with a sign that said "Love is never wrong."
Right. I mean, what church does that? It's just very,
We believe in loving people.
very open.
We don't care what you believe. You're human, and so we're going to treat you like that. You know, I was raised. I was raised to have very strict conservative beliefs, and it was over the course of time that I realized I had been taught to hate. And when we left our old church, it was because one of the gentlemen at the church came out as openly gay and was essentially excommunicated. And I was just like, that's the last straw for me. I don't want anything to do with these people anymore. And we walked away. It was just, it's hard to explain other than that. You know, you can't hate people because they're different than you. The question has never been which household is able to give more stuff to the kids. Obviously, their grandparents, who are very wealthy, can give them anything that they want.
They're millionaires. I mean, but people don't get pulled out of homes just because somebody else is richer.
There's no law against wanting to live a simpler lifestyle without extravagance. We have some nice things. Like, I mean, you know, we've got that TV over there. Sorry, you can see our packing boxes. We've been in the middle of moving.
Yeah.
You know, we have nice computers. The children have some nice toys. We built some custom things. We prefer really old houses. We all really like stuff that we're all eccentric. This painting that Betsy made that. You know, she likes making stuff like that. The one that you've seen in the other video hanging in our room, she did that one. You know, we've got
We're all
artwork.
pretty artistic. We all really enjoy.
Yeah. This notion that we don't believe in the
things.
American lifestyle is nonsense. You know, you're free. Do what you want. That's the point. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But, you know, just because you don't like somebody is not licensed to try to destroy them. Just because we may not be like a lot of other families doesn't mean that we're bad parents, and doesn't mean that we should have our kids taken from us. Our children have never been abused and never been neglected, and none of us have ever been committed of a crime. Ever. And you can see it for yourselves. Look at everything for yourselves. Don't buy the hype. You know, we spent 18 months trying to get people to notice us, trying to get help. We spent all the money that we could afford to spend on it, and people were like, well, I wish I had the money to help you. Well, but the stuff like they've been posting on Reddit, that's typical for them. They've been doing that from the beginning. And so some people go, oh, I don't know that that's a little heavy for me, man.
Yeah, we've just been dealing with people who talk like that about us for like a year and a half. It doesn't even really faze us anymore.
Yeah, I'm so used to...
I mean, you can just kind of skim down and be like, bull crap, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The same old crap they've been saying about us for a year and a half. There's nothing new. There's nothing creative.
Get you to work. It's almost time to get there. So, thank you for watching. I hope this gave you some insight into a little bit of the dynamic of our relationship. I mean, you can see for yourself, you know, she is her own person. Just like I said about James. Her own thoughts, her own opinions, what she says matters. But these people don't want you to think that they have a brain. And that's ludicrous. Like, not like the rapper, ludicrous, sorry. It's... She has the right to make her own decisions. If she wants to make jelly beans for a living for the rest of her life, that's her prerogative.
I want to make jelly beans.
I make balloon animals.
Whatever. You know, what she really wants to do, she wants to be an artist.
I am an artist.
Yeah, but you want to be a paid artist.
I want to be a paid artist.
But it takes a long time to be a paid artist. You got to do something else until you get there. So we make art, and she works in a call center doing tech support.
It sucks.
When people's universes break.
Universes.
I'm not going to say the other word. I'm just saying when their universes break. So
it's kind of an inside joke.
It's
Some
an
of you
inside
might
joke.
get it.
Thank you guys for watching this, and sincerely hope that all of you will spread the word. Take the time to look at it all for yourselves. Please listen to everything they have to say about us, because it's monstrous. It is so huge that if it wasn't hurting us, it would be a joke. It's laughable. So,
Well,
you
it's
have anything
kind
else
of
to say?
laughable anyway. Just because of how absurd it is.
Do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
I don't know. I mean, none of this is really fair to anybody, but I think that it's especially unfair to the children because
Absolutely.
these kids are have so much stress and worry and like on their plates that I feel like they can't even be kids right now, and that's unfair. And
It's not fair
people
to
have
them at
not
all.
only robbed us of our freedom and our privacy and our children, but they've robbed our children as well, and I think that's crap. And
Yeah.
if you want to mess with, you know, me or him, then that's one thing, but you don't mess with children.
She's right.
You just don't. And that makes them horrible people. And that's all I have to say.
Thanks, guys.
And I love you guys.
And Rose loves you.